Good morning, dear children. We are back for yet another class on subtraction. Before we begin the class, let us quickly recap what we studied in the previous class. We studied about the properties of subtraction and learned to subtract with and without borrowing. I am sure by now you must have practiced lots of sums and become well versed in subtraction. Today we are going to learn more about subtraction. Today the topics we are going to study are checking subtraction, subtraction across zero, and word problems. Now here we come across three terms. They are minuend, subtrahend, and difference. Now we see here 779 is the minuend, 346 is the subtrahend, and the answer that we get when we subtract is the difference. The minuend is the larger number and the subtrahend is always the smaller. Only then subtraction is possible. Now we see when we subtract 346 from 779, we get 433. Now if we want to check whether the subtraction is correct or not, we may add the subtrahend and the difference, and the number that we get should be equal to the minuend. For example, if you subtract 10 from 15, the answer you get is 5. So when you add 10 plus 5, the answer should be 15. Only then we can say that the subtraction is correct. Now we come to the next topic, that is subtracting across zero. Let us take a digit, a 4-digit number, 8000 minus 4838. Now here the digit in the hundreds, tens and ones place are all zero. So it is not possible for the digit in the ones place to borrow from the tens place. Similarly, it is not possible for the digit in the tens place to borrow from the digit in the hundreds place. So first the digit in the hundreds place borrows 1 from the thousands place to become 10. But it has to lend 1 to the tens place. So it becomes 9. Similarly, the digit in the tens place borrows 1 from the hundreds place to become 10. But it has to lend 1 to the ones place. So it becomes 9. Now the digit in the ones place becomes 10. And now we can subtract 8 from 10 and the answer we get is 2. 9, from 9 we subtract 3, the answer we get is 6. Again we subtract 8 from 9, the answer we get is 1. And 4 from 7 and the answer is 3. So we get the digit as 3. So the answer is 3162. Let's take another example. It is again a 4-digit number, 6700 minus 2195. The digit here in the ones and tens place are both 0. So the ones place cannot borrow from the tens place until the tens place borrows from the hundreds place. So it borrows from the hundreds place and lends 1 to the ones place. So the remaining number in the tens place is 9. And the number in the ones place is 10. Now it becomes simple. We can deduct 5 from 10 and the answer we get is 5. 9 minus 9 we get 0. 6 minus 1 we get 5. And 6 minus 2 we get 4. Now we come to the word problems. Here we see 1,864 books were sold at a book fair over 2 days. So the total number of books sold in 2 days is 1,864 books. Number of books sold on Sunday is 499. So we have to find out the number of books sold on Monday. So when we subtract both, we get the answer as 1,365. So 1,365 books were sold on Monday. Let's see the next example. Mansi uses 2,965 beads to make a necklace. She uses 1,382 beads to make a bracelet. So, number of beads needed to make a necklace is 2,965. Number of beads used to make a bracelet is 1,382. So, we see that the number of beads needed to make a bracelet was less. So, let us find out number of lesser beads used to make the bracelet. For that, we subtract both and the answer that we get is 1,583. So, 1,583 less beads were used to make a bracelet. Next is, there are 8,231 people watching a football match. So, we can write it as number of people watching a football match is 8,231. Number of people supporting team A is 4,562. We have to find out how many people supported team B. So, we subtract both and we get the answer as 3,669 people supported team B. Let's go to the next problem. In a school, there were 3,540 children. So, the total number of children were 3,540. On a particular day, 2,457 children were present. So, number of children present is given and we have to find the number of children absent. For that, you subtract 2,457 from the total number of children, that is 3,540. So, we get 1,083 as the number of children absent. Let's go to the next problem. There were 1,100 seats in a theater. So, number of seats in a theater were 1,100. Number of people watched the show were 869. So, we find how many seats were vacant. For that, we subtract 869 from 1,100 and the answer is 231. These many seats were vacant. Next sum. The sum of two numbers is 7,036. That is, when you add two numbers, the number is 7,036. Now, if one number is 3,168, we have to find out the other number. So, if one number is 3,168, what will be the other number? When we subtract 3,168 from 7,036, we get 3,868 and that is the second number. 5,000 empty cans and bottles were collected in a recycling drive. So, total number of cans that were collected is 5,000. 2,248 cans were crushed. So, how many bottles and cans are still left to be recycled? So we subtract 2248 from the total number of cans and we get 2752. So 2752 cans were still left to be recycled. So this is all for today. Now the PDF carries all the sums, the word problems solved in a particular format. Copy the format neatly in your classwork notebooks and do the sums given on subtraction. Thank you.